Hello, everybody. My name is Gabrielle Allemeyer. You may know me on Instagram as at ESL with Gabrielle. I'm the Community Development Manager with Panda, and today we are here with this week's V.I.Panda, Laura Risdall. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hello, good, good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So where are you teaching from?
I'm in Minnesota. I'm in small town, about 45 minutes west of the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cold now, or?
Yeah. It's like every morning you wake up and see frost on the ground at this point. Yeah,
Well, interesting. I'm in Florida,
that's what I
so
thought. Yeah.
I'm not sure what cold is anymore. I felt
Right.
it for the longest time. Um,
Right.
so what companies do you teach for?
I only teach for VIP Kid, just the
Okay.
one company.
And how long have you been teaching with them for?
Is it next week? November 6th will be 1 year for me.
Okay,
So almost a full year. Yeah.
that's great. So
Yeah, I love it.
when
Loving
you're
it.
and was this your first online gig?
It was, yes. My first
Okay.
and only. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and what do you think about it? Is it just a dream come true, a miracle?
It's been perfect for
Yeah.
me in this stage of life. I tell people that it just seemed too good to be true,
Yeah.
and it's lived up to all of my expectations
Mhm.
and surpassed them. So
Mhm.
I
And
love it.
more.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do before VIP Kid?
I was a teacher.
Okay.
I taught elementary school for 10 years before starting this. And I taught in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis Public Schools. Actually, I was a kindergarten teacher for 8
Mhm.
years. And then I moved out here to this small town and did some subbing and taught preschool a little bit. But then I found this, and I've been doing just VIP Kid as my only job since June.
Okay, that's great. That's what I do too, and it's
Yeah.
just really amazing that we can do this, and and it makes up all of our income.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fabulous.
unbelievable. I love it. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have two little girls who are at home with me and
Hmm.
then one older daughter who's in elementary school.
Okay. Um, do you ever want to go back to brick and mortar teaching?
Someday I think I will,
Mhm.
yeah, but probably not until my youngest is in school.
Sure.
I think I will ride this VIP kid train for a while. I
Sure.
love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. A lot of the brick and mortar teachers left their brick and mortar jobs to just do this. So
Hmm.
it's really just a fun, almost stress-free,
Yeah.
stress-free job.
Compared to the public school, I mean, I loved public school teaching. I do love it. I'll go
Mhm.
back to it someday. But the stress level is very high.
Yes.
And it just was I was feeling overwhelmed often and just like I didn't have enough time in the day.
Mhm.
So this has really changed my life. For a while, I was teaching a brick and mortar job and VIP Kid. So I was just doing like
Oh goodness.
hour and a half or two
Mhm.
hours in the mornings, but I just was exhausted all the time. So
Yes, that's almost,
I got to the point where my schedule was full enough and I felt like I could
yeah.
make the jump. And when I did, my schedule filled in and it's been great. It's been great ever since.
Well, good. I'm really glad to hear that. So you started out as a teacher. You started
Hmm.
your profession as a teacher, um, and um, and doing VIP Kid, it means that we have to get up even earlier. Probably you're on Central Time, so
Yes, yeah.
those are pretty early hours for you. How do you stay alert? How do you stay awake? What are your tips, especially because you also have two children?
Right. I think everybody has to find their balance, and
Mhm.
you really have to start with how much sleep do you require and be honest with yourself about how much sleep you require, because if you keep cutting your sleep, it's going to catch up with you. So for me, I can function on 6.5, 7 hours of sleep just fine. So I go to bed pretty early, but then I'm up at 4 o'clock every
Mhm.
day, Monday through Saturday. I don't work Sundays, and then I teach from like 4:30 to 9 or 8 or 9 depending.
Okay.
And then usually I do like take a nap with my kids for even like 20 minutes, half an hour in the afternoon. me going. So that's kind of how I manage the sleep part of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on just 1 second.
Yeah, you're fine. Your dog.
This come here, come here, come here, come here. She would normally be downstairs, but my air conditioning broke,
Oh,
and
oh no.
so
In
now
Florida.
they're repairing that, and
Oh, what a cute
cutting.
dog.
Here's my dog. Okay, she's making an appearance now.
I love it.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. You're fine. My dog comes into classes occasionally. Here, I'll show you a picture of him. He's upstairs, but this is what I show my students. This is my dog.
Oh,
He's a big, huge chocolate lab.
yeah, he is adorable. I love big dogs. Oh, um, so let's see. I was talking about your ability to
Sleep
to
and work and schedule. Yeah.
and you start at 4 in the morning, which is pretty early.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means you get up at.
I usually get up at 4:15, and then I either start at 4:30 if I'm feeling ambitious that week
Mhm.
and schedule 4:30s, but usually 5.
Okay.
So that gives me enough time to get some coffee in me and wake up and, look alert.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So how do you fit that schedule in with your children?
So my oldest daughter, well, I guess the short answer is my husband helps a lot in the
Okay.
mornings. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So I work from 4 to 8:30 or 9, but I take a half an hour break right in the middle at 7 o'clock every day because that's the time frame when my daughter is getting up and getting on the bus, my
all
oldest
right.
daughter. So then we have breakfast and I can help her with in elementary school, there's all the
Mhm.
papers and the lunch and all of that business to get her ready to go. So I get to see her on the bus and then I'm like sending her out the door and running downstairs to get to my 7:30 class. And then I teach from 7:30 to 8:30 or 9.
Okay.
More. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and it doesn't sound like too a horrible schedule.
Yeah, it's working. It's working for me. Yeah.
I remember when I worked in a regular brick and mortar job, I had to wake up almost the same time,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that much different, and
Yeah.
I don't have a commute either. Uh,
Right.
so, what is your favorite lesson with VIP Kid
I
or
was
levels?
thinking about this. So I teach levels 1 to 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd say 90% of my schedule is levels 1 and 2. So I lean toward the really young 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year olds. Love that age. And my favorite, I couldn't pick like one specific lesson, but my favorite unit is unit 4, and it's the one about family and the things in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy those lessons because actually, I can show you. I love drawing the families with them. I just did
Oh,
a couple
that's
this morning.
great. So,
I
your
draw their family with them.
is that your reward?
Not even, no.
Okay.
Actually, for my reward, I wish I had it here to show you, but I get a little dollhouse.
Uh-huh.
And I set it up right here, and then they earn like a table for the dollhouse, and that's usually what I use for that
Oh, that
unit.
is so
It's
cool.
really fun. But I just
Probably
love
taken from your kids, right?
I steal so many things from my kids, yes. They hate it, but I give it back, I promise. I just love like getting to know their family,
Yeah,
and then I just keep a little pile of all these little pictures of families, and they love to see their family again and remember that I remember them, and it's fun.
that's a really great way of making the lesson personal.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
then they can have something they can take back and like talk about their family and say, I know that your name is
Hmm.
brother, sister, mom, dad, all those vocabulary words. So I
So,
love it.
what is your feedback style like? What do you like to include in your feedback?
Well, I always like to start with something really personal because I think if you only have a couple seconds of the parent's attention, you want to get them right
Hmm.
away, and you want them to think, oh yeah, this teacher actually knows my son or daughter. It's not just a template. It's not just a canned
Yes.
response. So I do a lot of things like I mention what they're wearing if it's something notable, or a lot of times they have to show me a toy. So I'll say, thank you for showing me this or that. I like to take note in the app on my phone. I like to take note of how many classes I've had with them.
Hmm.
And then if it's a special amount, like if it's our 10th class together, I'll write that in the feedback. Like, I'll
Yeah,
write, yeah.
actually, that just reminds me. I saw that on your video and I employed that today.
Good, yeah. Very
So thank you.
practical tip.
So, and then I did ask, like you suggested, I asked a new student to be a regular. So,
Yeah. I
no,
hope it works out for you. I hope it works.
I hope it
I
works out.
I started doing that because I was getting all these students that I saw on the app that I taught them like once or twice or three
Mhm.
times. And I knew they were going back and forth between a few teachers. So I just decided to be kind of bold and say, I would love to be your regular teacher. And I don't know if it actually works or not, but I think it kind of does. So I shared that as a tip. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it at least says that you're interested in seeing them again instead of just the generic, hope I'll see you soon in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. And really that's what I love about VIP Kid. You know, it's kind of both sides. It's hard that the parents book you instead of the company booking you because there's always a chance that you won't get a full schedule.
Mhm.
But I love that the parents book you because then you have the personal they pick the teachers that they
Yes.
like. I really like that. And now I'm a parent on the other end of it. My 8-year-old just started. We tried Lingo Bus, and actually we're going to end up doing Spanish classes instead. So we're doing it's almost the exact same kind of platform, but she's learning Spanish, and I love that I can pick the teacher. So I don't know. I just like that feature about VIP Kid.
Which platform is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called Kids Club Spanish School.
Oh,
Kids Club.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a brand new school. It's a brand new online school. I think they just opened up in October.
Mhm. All right.
Yeah.
Do you get any free classes if you refer new students or anything?
I don't think they have that part set up
Okay.
yet, but I do just, I don't get anything out of it, but I
Right.
recommend it. My daughter's had
Sure.
great experiences so far with it. Yeah.
Well,
She's 8 years old.
that's great that you're doing that at 8 years old. I mean, the younger, the
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
All the research shows that the earlier you start, the better they'll be at
Yeah.
acquiring a second language.
Yeah.
So, what are your hobbies and interests?
I like to joke that like my kids are my hobby, but I like no my biggest hobby is right now is running. I really am enjoying running. In Minnesota, the opportunity to run outside is so limited. You have
Mhm.
like June, July, August, and September, and already now it's like getting to be too cold to run outside. So I loved running in the summer. I ran a couple races. It's just kind of fun time away from my responsibilities. So yeah, I
Um,
love it.
do you run on a treadmill now?
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately. Well, it's not the best.
So, how has Feedback Panda enriched your life or helped you to helped you to minimize the time spent on just busy work? How has that helped
Yeah,
you
yeah,
manage your
it's
personal life?
been revolutionary. I tell everybody that I talk to, I mean, like, don't waste your time typing your own feedback. Sign up as soon as you get
Mhm.
hired. So worth every penny. I just say thank you to Feedback Panda, the development team. Seriously, it's amazing because I'd say I didn't sign up until March or April. So I had been working for about 4 months just typing, and I'm a really fast typer. So I thought, oh, I could just, I can squeeze it in. But no matter how fast you type, you can only type so fast. You have to cover, the basics of what you taught, what they need to work on, all of
Yes.
those things.
Yes,
I
you can
mean,
only type as fast as what you can remember.
yeah, and I was like writing, chicken scratch notes throughout the lessons, and I
Mhm.
know some people have great systems for that, but I felt like I was always like rushing, and then getting into the classroom just in time with no room to breathe in between. So now I feel like, especially after the first few months of using Feedback Panda, and I have so many templates saved, and I kind of have my style, and when I have to look for a template, I know what to look for in a template. It's just so much faster. It's unbelievable. I
Yeah.
I can like get out of there within a minute
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yes, I know, and you're still writing great feedback. It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
you're writing robotic feedback, so
Right.
which is what I feel like a lot of people assume before they use V.I.Panda.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's probably the biggest misconception I had too. I thought I don't want it to sound like just a canned response or the
Hmm.
same thing for every student. And the good thing is that, there's those bones for you to work off it, and then you just add the fun stuff,
Hmm.
the personal aspects of
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my next question. Uh, let's see. I'm sorry.
You're
I totally
fine.
uh, lost my place here on this questionnaire. What do you like to see when you check the teacher-to-teacher feedback? So, do you even look at the teacher-to-teacher feedback? And if you do, what do you want?
Yeah, I do. I am one of those that I do like to read it. I know some people just kind of like to form their own opinions, and I definitely get that. But I do like to see. I like to see how many classes they've had. I'd like to see if I guess the biggest thing I look for is their name, because so many times it's a Chinese name and I don't know how to pronounce it, or you just want to, because that's so key in making a connection with the
Yes.
kid. So if you can find their name, I looked for any personal details, and then if there's a behavior problem, that's something I want to be aware of.
Okay.
So those are kind of the things I
Hmm.
look for.
Hmm.
But it depends, honestly, it depends on how much prep time I have.
Right.
Sometimes I just go in blind and
Hmm.
dive right
Right.
in.
And then just wing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, do you write any templates yourself, or do you just use the ones that you've found in the cloud already?
I mostly use, I think in the beginning I was writing a few, but mostly I just use the ones that are in the system and
Hmm.
then edit them to my liking. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's me too. I haven't contributed any templates.
Yeah.
I've been a taker, not a giver.
Yes, me too. Me too. I confess.
So, what would you tell people if they have these misconceptions about, like, for instance, one of my misconceptions was, well, a few of my misconceptions were number one, why would I spend $10 a month on this? And number two, um, I'm going to be spending so much time just setting it up. And then I found out that that wasn't even true. So, how
Mhm.
would you counter those arguments with people?
For the cost, I totally get that. I was one of those people that I didn't spend a penny on
Hmm.
this job until I got my first paycheck.
Right.
And then I bought headphones and an orange shirt. I mean, I literally didn't spend a penny. I was like, I don't want to, I'm not doing this to spend money. I'm doing it to make money.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I was kind of stingy in the beginning, but if you really are going to do this as a job, with any job, it requires a bit of investment. And to
Yes.
me, the feedback panda investment is better than any rewards or decorations or anything you buy. It's so useful. Um, and the good thing is they do a free trial. So
Hmm.
you can do your free trial and give it a go for a month, and then I doubt there's anybody who doesn't do it after giving it a honest month
Yeah.
trial.
And if there is, I think the percentage would be so low as to be
Yeah.
negligible. Yeah, I that's what I thought was, why would I spend $10 a month? And then I realized that I could actually add on more classes. So in a sense, I was
Hmm.
making money, and like you said, you
Right.
have to spend money to make money sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a shift for me, to be honest, because I really just started this job on a whim
Mhm.
to see if it was going to pan out kind of as a hobby. And then I was doing it just in addition to my brick and mortar job. And really, when I decided, like, this is going to be my job now, that's when I was like, okay, I need to stop thinking of this as a silly hobby. Like, this is my job. I need to
Yes.
put some effort and energy into it. And really, I regretted not doing it earlier. So
Me too.
that worked out.
That's a great philosophy. Um, I started in 2016, but even I regret not starting earlier or
Yeah.
using Feedback Panda earlier. It's been around for a year, and I got in late on the game, late in the game. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's how
regret.
I felt too. I was like just a little behind the loop there. Yeah. Out of the loop. Mhm.
Okay. Well, those are very great, very good tips. And do you have anything else you'd like to share with us, or any tips or comments that you have?
We have a
Yeah, did you say we have a lag? Because I think we do. Hang on just one second. Let's see.
Sorry, you're coming in and out of it.
Hold on just one second. What's going on here? Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry if it's on my end.
I don't know whose end it's on. Can you see me?
I'm good now. Now I
Okay.
can see you. Everything's
Okay.
good.
I'm good now too. All right.
Good. Just a little bump in the road there.
So, what I was asking, do you have any other comments or advice or anything else you'd like to talk about or bring up?
Specifically about Feedback Panda?
V.I.Panda or online teaching?
I'd say, well, for one with Feedback Panda, really just it takes a little while to get over the hump of the first few weeks. That's what I'd say. You in the first few weeks, you do have to put in the effort of finding the kind of templates that you like.
Mm-hmm.
There's hundreds to choose from, which is good, but then it can be kind of overwhelming. So
Yes.
what I just did in the beginning is I looked for templates that fit what I was kind of just typing before, that fit
Right.
my style. And then I definitely think my style has evolved over the years, over the
Sure.
year, I should say,
Sure.
months. But yeah, just I think a big key is to find like your voice. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but you want it to sound like you are just talking to these parents. And I think that if you can communicate like your care and joy of teaching,
Mhm.
then that's really what they want to hear.
Yes, I think in Ed Nace's book he said something about you're having coffee with a friend, or was that
Yeah,
Ed Nace? Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's a good tip too.
yes.
Buy Ed Nace's book. It's
Right.
it's a great book.
Ed Nace's book plus
Yeah.
Feedback Panda, you cannot go wrong.
Seriously, they are the match made in heaven. Yes, yeah. I think
Okay.
too with my other tip with just teaching in general is you have to find a balance in your life. It can be really exciting to watch your paycheck creep up. It can be really exciting to watch your stats on the app, creep up. But you have to find a balance for you that can be sustainable.
Yes, because
Um,
you are going to get that bad feedback
yeah, yeah,
if you push yourself. You'll get that
yeah.
bad feedback that, oh, they were tired and they didn't know what was going on, or
Yeah, yeah. And I think every teacher's limit is so different and it can change. Like at the beginning, doing 4 classes in a row was hard for me. And
yes.
now, like today, I did 8 in a row this morning. And on the 8th one, even, I was like, oh, I'm feeling
Yes.
just a little, I need more coffee, a little out of it. So I
Mhm.
think for me, my like ideal range is 6 to 7 a day.
Mhm.
And I even like tried doing some evenings, like I would do a Friday night and then turn around and do the Saturday morning too.
Yeah,
And that was
that's too hard. I've tried that too.
can't do it. I can't do
Burning
it.
the candle at both ends,
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
I think
Yeah,
the cool thing is like you do have that option. Like if something
exactly.
happens, like a few months ago we took a little vacation just for a couple days, but I ended up taking like 3 days off of teaching in the middle of the week. So then I mean you have the option to do the evenings if you need it or want it.
Yes.
But just to be really aware of your what's sustainable for you, what makes you a good teacher, because you want to give your best to your students and your family. I remember when I was doing brick and mortar and VIP Kid and, my family, I was like, I need to make
Yes.
sure everybody's getting the best of me here. So
That
I
definitely
think
sounds
that's
like
my
an
best tip.
overloaded plate there.
Yeah, it was a little much for a while there.
But now you're kind of living the what I like to say, the easy life, just because
Yeah.
I feel like we're so happy, and then I hear my friends, my old colleagues at my old job, and they're just so miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
And and I feel bad, but but we're so blessed that we found
Yeah.
this avenue of making money.
Yeah, it was definitely a godsend for me at this stage of my life. Just especially all the moms out there understand the daycare stress. I was
Hmm.
paying for 2 kids in daycare, one an infant, and most of my paycheck was going to the daycare. So it just
And
seemed so
you're not
silly to be
spending
working.
time with them
Yeah, yeah.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just a really good option right now, and it it is so much fun without the paperwork and all of the meetings and
Hmm.
all of the extra stuff that comes with teaching. So,
Yes, office
yeah,
politics,
yeah, all of that.
all of it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes. Well, great. And anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think that's it. Thanks so much for choosing
Yes.
me. I
And
was so excited.
yes, and I was excited too. So thank you for being so responsive about it. And
Yeah,
I'm going to do a little write-up for you, and I'm
sure,
also going to include all of your links.
sure.
So I'll probably ask you to email all of those to me, referral links.
Sounds good.
Do you refer?
Yes, I do
Oh,
sometimes.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't done many, but I enjoy it. I enjoy walking people through the process.
All right.
And I should tell you too, I have a Teachers Pay Teachers store. I don't know if you
Okay,
or if you
yes.
guys know what
So,
Teachers Pay Teachers
mhm,
is, but
that's
I
great too.
yeah, it was a online store for selling lesson plans and sharing materials. And so I have a lot of my elementary stuff from my previous years on there. But since I started with VIP Kid, I've started making some props and some rewards, and I'd love to share those with the teachers too.
Yes, so we will definitely share those links as well
Great.
for you. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for
Yeah,
taking the time to
thanks.
speak with me.
Of course. So nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you too.